Hello, hello, and welcome to, I don't know what we'll call this. We're just going to call it a beautiful little interview time that we have. My name is Ankara Rose. I am the creator of the Success Codex and founder of the Success Codex Academy. And today we are all lucky enough to be graced with the presence and the wisdom and the insights of Katy Davies. She is a friend. She is a certified Success Codex reader. She's incredible. I don't know how you refer to yourself, but I think of you as like a business mentor. I don't know if
Yeah,
that fits. Yeah,
yeah.
and so Katie's here, and today we're really just going to chat a little bit about her story, um, how she came to this work, and get some insights, her insights into what the Success Codex is, why it's meaningful, and also we'll take a look at a few of the pieces of her specific Success Codex. So with that, welcome, my friend.
Thank you. What an intro.
It was a little wobbly at first, but we got there.
It made me, it's like, oh, wow.
So how are you today?
I am good. I've got my cup of tea. I don't need my codex in front of me, but I have it just in case.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm excited to talk all about it and hopefully share some of the bits about my codex, which can help other people understand like what it can do. And because it's all very well having it and we download it and we print it out, but what does it actually do?
Exactly. It's like, but what do we do with this beautiful picture now?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got it and I put it on my wall. How does this help me? So
Yeah.
yeah, excited to talk about how it actually helps me.
Yeah, beautiful. And I do. I completely agree. I think that that's why we're doing this. I think that, sometimes systems like human design and gene keys and astrology, we as consumers, right, people who are interested in this, we can collect a lot of information about ourselves. But until we take that information and we do something with it, it's just more information. I mean, it can create some shifts, but the real shifts happen when we begin to actually make the direct connections between what's on our codex, what's in our human design, whatever system we're looking at, and how it's actually impacting our lives. We start to weave it in more tangible, applicable ways.
Yeah, I decided the other day that just in terms of the whole term, if we go to the human design side, human
Mhm.
design reading, I started noticing that I think because of the language we're maybe using ourselves, people were thinking, well, that was it, done and dusted. Like you
Mhm.
have the reading. I've had my human design reading. I've been there, done that. And so I started thinking, actually, no, that's literally the beginning.
Yeah.
And so I even realized, and I've written a whole post, haven't put it out yet, how I failed in my own marketing because the name itself is stopping people from really understanding like what it's actually doing for us. So yeah, it's all about getting that information and
Mhm.
then yeah.
Yeah, it's like a springboard, right? And that's what it's meant to be. It's like, it's so true. It's like downloading your success codex is like very, very first step. Second step, getting a reading and getting some insights, but that's still the very, very beginning.
Still, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm 5 years into my human design journey. I can't
Mhm.
remember when I time has kind of gone now. I think maybe I found the Success Codex quite early on. So
Mhm.
how long's that been? Is that 2 years or?
Yeah, I think January it will be 2 years.
Yeah, because I discovered it by accident. I'd
Mhm.
already been on my human design journey for a few years, and as soon as I saw it, it just made sense to me. It just made sense to me. The language, the words, the out of alignment, the in alignment cues, and so I actually sent my friend hers. I was like, look at this. But she didn't have the same kind of affinity to it as I did. And I was all disappointed. It just makes so much sense to me.
Yeah. Well, it's like
Um,
anything, right? Like it's not for everyone, for sure.
I think she didn't have the same just enthusiasm for this stuff that I did.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
now now she loves it. And we've done the full reading and we've done all the stuff and she loves it. But yeah, when I first found it, and I know that's something that you wanted to do was make the language accessible and
Yeah.
make sense without the human design jargon.
Yeah. And Gene Keys, like really both. I man, when I found these systems, well, at first I was like, what the hell am I looking at? This is too much, right? And then I walked away. But when I came back to it, I think when I was like, my soul was ready for it, I was like, this is so amazing. And I am a rabbit hole person. I will go down the rabbit hole. I will, just for the joy of learning and seeking and discovery and all of those things, I will sit and teach myself and learn and take programs. But not everyone is like that. And the thing
Mm,
with human design and gene keys that I found is if you're not someone who's going to take the initiative to go and learn all about it, it really doesn't have any meaning. I mean, you download your body graph chart, you don't know what you're looking at. You
yeah.
download your gene keys, they're like it's activating, right? They're all activating, but you do have to spend all this time contemplating what the gene keys are. And so for me, just like you said, it's like I just it's almost like my brain went like, well, this isn't fair. Like, what about all the people that don't have the time or they don't have the money to hire a reader or they they just they don't have the energy. Like their lives are so busy. How do they access this information and in a meaningful way? And so that was really my intention behind it. It's just like, well, I'll make it easy for them. 3-6 over here. 3-6 over here. I'm like, let me just refine that thing. Let me get my hands dirty, like
A
torture
little bit of
myself
an
learning.
experimentation and see how it all comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I am also the person that goes down the rabbit hole, so
Yeah.
I have learned everything, and
Yes.
I had no intention of being a human design reader. So my background, um, I worked in a marketing agency for 13 years.
Mm.
Um, Before that, I did do a physics degree, which I did nothing with and was like, why have I done this? Like, this is nuts. Then I got a job in London and worked at a marketing agency. Then I quit that and I as a wedding cake wedding cake designer. Um, and through my background, I was just helping people mentoring and I was doing the business coaching and they came and they asked me, how can I help them? So I started doing that. And then I happened across human design itself by accident. I just started people hearing saying, I'm a 2-4, this, that, and the other. I was like, what is all these people saying? What are all these words? And then when I ran the chart, everything just made so much sense.
Mm.
And so, even though until that point, I had had no affinity to anything astrology
Mm-hmm.
or anything on that side, I was pure logic and facts.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't dispute the information it was giving me.
Yeah.
And then I did go down the rabbit hole and I learned everything there was. And then everyone started coming to me and asking me to explain it to them. And so it just sort of evolved. And so obviously you compare it with anything. So it works perfectly with marketing, business strategy, just an insight into yourself. And then when I found the codex, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like another piece. Like it's the impact path, the growth path, the balance path, the transformation path. This fits even better with my understanding and mentoring and helping people.
Yeah.
Because obviously, as entrepreneurs, all of my clients, they want to know their impact and their visibility. They
Mm-hmm.
want to know all about growth and abundance. And so, obviously, sometimes those paths are the more popular ones, but really, then you've got the balance. How do you hold it all? How do you actually transform through these pieces? So, those two are often like even more powerful than the impact and the growth ones, aren't they?
Yeah, it's ironic. Sometimes I think about it. It's like I'm sure you've heard the marketing idea of uh, sell them what they need, sell them what they want, give them what they need. I mean, we can use all of it, right? And it's not that no, like people don't want sustainability and balance, and they don't want to access their next level. But the front of the mind things for entrepreneurs and leaders is how can I be more visible? How can I be more myself? How can I make more money? How can I create a legacy. So those are same for me. More people will come to me for readings on the impact and the growth path. But often what happens is at the beginning of my sessions, I like to talk them through, like just, oh, here's a little snippet of what each of these paths are. And once they hear, usually the balance path or the transformation path explained, they come for one and then they're like, you know what? Never mind. I think that's the one that I want.
One of the first things that stood out for me from my codex was from the transformation path was the Pluto, the rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had just before I'd found the codex, I mentioned I had a cake business. So I ran the cake business and the mentoring side by side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd made the decision to close the wedding business. I didn't want to do it anymore. And I wrestled with that quite a lot because on paper it made perfect sense. It was making money. It was a perfectly good business. And I was just like, no, shutting it all down, closing it. And with the codex, we actually look at the approach as well. So it's not just the key code, it's the approach. And for the rebirth, my approach was shed attachment to your expertise.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had spent 9 years being an expert at making wedding cakes. And I had to shed my attachment to that knowledge. Like it wasn't, it's there. I mean, I could make a cake, I could talk someone through, I could teach someone to make it. And as I read it, I was like, oh, that's kind of funny because that is what I had to do when I made that decision a couple of years ago. So, and I think now, again, when you see these things and you can actually see tangibly how they've helped you, I hold that piece in my awareness. So as I'm going through and trying to maybe change, do the changes, the transformation path, I know that it's okay. I still have the knowledge and the expertise in there, but I'm not as attached to it, and I can let go, and I know that that's part of my process now.
Yeah, exact. I love that example. And I think that that's it's like the perfect modeling of how to actually work with and hold that approach, right? So the approach in your rebirth. I'm going to pop it on the screen if anyone is watching on video. Do I have permission to share your
Yeah.
codex? Okay, just want to make sure. So this is Katie's beautiful codex here. So what we're talking about is she's talking about rebirth from the transformation path. And you can see here this approach phrase says shed attachment to your expertise. Let me zoom in so we can see it a little bit better. Shed attachment to your expertise. Now, sometimes people see that and they're like, "Oh my God, what does that mean? Like I have to completely let go of like I'm not an expert anymore." The point of this, just like Katie said, is not, well, I I have to let go of everything. I lose my knowledge. I lose my expertise. That's not the point. The point is that your next level, your next iteration, the next version of you and your highest expression actually holds a new level of expertise. And if we are clinging to the previous version, we don't have space for that new expertise to come in. And
Yeah, and
so, yeah.
I had to do that as well. And now I recognize it as a pattern. It's like I have all this business and marketing knowledge,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I have all these frameworks and all these things that I've done over the last 6 years. My MOT, it's like it's all the M's, it's like MOT, money, model, marketing, mindset, momentum. But it doesn't include human design because I came up with the framework before I integrated that. And again, it's like I have all this marketing and business knowledge, and I had to kind of shed a bit of attachment to it so that I could introduce human design. And then I could introduce the Success Codex. It's still there. And if anyone asks me a question on it, it's in there, it can come
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
And then one of the other key codes that I don't know if they will have seen on the screen is my North Node, my purpose, which is the depth and the resource. So obviously, I'm merely collecting all these things, like becoming this resource
Yeah.
of. You could ask me about my time at the marketing age. You could ask me about making a wedding cake. You could ask me about human design. You could ask me about the codex. And that has
Mm.
with the way it works there, you'll see the different pieces. If you have the code, you'll see the little one in italics there, the insecure. That's my out of alignment cue. And that has been coming up. That has been coming up a bit this week. So I have been putting some things out there, and then I've had like a massive wobble because I I'm not trusting this knowing that I know
Mm,
enough. And so with that whole key code, there is this other side. And because of all the out of alignment cues that you see there, if you scroll down tiny bit, so you can see the focus one. Yeah. So we've got depth, insecure, prosperity, disenchanted, focus, scattered. It's like, and the filtering on the rebirth one. It's like I am now so attuned to those out of alignment cues and the pedantic on the decoding one that's there twice.
that's my
Yeah,
son,
that's
so I get
yours,
that
isn't
one.
it?
Yes.
That's yours. I mean, it's that twice. Um, and the wisdom and the stifled. If I just kind of look at everything as a whole, I can just see where I'm holding myself back across
Mm,
all of these, and I'm really kind of disenchanted because I'm not allowing myself to actually do the things that I want. I'm scattered and I'm insecure. And I was like, hang on a minute, Katie. Okay, like how can you bring yourself back into alignment? What Because I think I said this to you in a voice note. I have this thing about this is showing us our genius or the potential genius. It's showing us this potential.
potential.
And the potential is there for us to unlock, embrace, use, harness all the words. And if we don't, then we end up with the other thing. We end up insecure, scattered, this,
Yeah.
that, and the other.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, focus is my primary genius.
Hmm.
And when I think about it, I just everything I do has a focus to it, even tidying my house. Like I'm focused
Yeah.
99% of the time. And when I start, I can really tell when I'm scattered. And
Mm,
I'm like, hang on, okay, how can we? And I kind of do this. I'm like, how can we bring this into focus? How can we bring this back into focus here? I can tell I'm scattered. It's because I'm not focused. I'm not releasing this stuff because I'm insecure about my knowledge. I'm, filtering stuff out, rather than just allowing my intuition to come. So I apply it every day because I brought it into my awareness.
yeah. And that's really, that is what the intention is. It's for us to take this and to bring, at first it's not, we have no awareness of it, right? Or maybe we have a sense of it, not necessarily in this language, all of these like, oh yeah, this is like these out of alignment cues. They're exactly like you said, there are these patterns. They're running in the background. We, sometimes we have awareness, sometimes we don't. Sometimes they come into our awareness and we're like, okay, and then we lose it. So, how do we keep it in our awareness more? I mean, I think having your success codex there and you're looking at those words all the time. No, not to remind you how you're a failure and you're not doing right. Like these out of alignment cues, they're just a reminder that you have a choice.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
really, that's what it is. It's like, oh yeah, like I can be scattered or I can be focused. And for anyone who's just listening on audio, what Katie did so beautifully is she actually did a movement
Oh
that kind
yeah.
of like brought her
Put
into
my
focus.
hands
Hands
together.
were apart, hands were together. And it's like there's so many tiny little ways that we can get these key codes and the keywords embodied. And I had to say that because you modeled that so beautifully. It's like, that movement of like what is scattered and what is focused feel like to your body, what's that movement there, and then it becomes a cue so you can integrate it into your everyday life, right? There
Yeah.
is a point where you're not looking at your codex, you can just recognize it's like, oh, there I go,
Yes,
Dantic
exactly.
again.
I happen to have it on the wall, but over the last couple of years, I've worked with it a lot. And like I said, 90% of the time, focus is my natural energy, it's my natural state. So I'm not noticing I'm focused. I don't even
Yes.
know I'm focused. I just am. But what I like you said, I then when I know I'm not, and I recognize that scatter, okay, something, some reason, somewhat I've gone off track, and how do I actually get back on track? Well, I can focus, and then each piece has the guiding question. So that guiding question, what is essential for me to focus my energy on here, is like for a while, I actually kind of really tuned into that. Okay, what is essential for me to focus my energy on here? That's like the question that brings it back into focus.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know you've always loved those guiding questions. Actually,
I
your
do.
your love of them made me make sure that I include it in all the resources. Oh, look who's here. Hello, Simon. Simon's here. He's just like, oh, it's so bright.
He always joins for
He
all the
does.
codex calls.
He
Yeah, no,
does.
I love the questions. So I use them with my clients quite a lot because I think they can help to focus you. So obviously that's why I love it,
Look at
because
that. They do this. They do the movement. They
you
don't
do
know.
the movement. They do the movement. So yeah, no, I love those questions because to me the questions are what help me step back into focus.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and
Yeah.
and and it again, oh my gosh, no matter how many times I put him down, he's insisting. So he's staying with us today. Just, if you're not on video, cat's on my lap. Um, yeah, I mean, the approach phrases, the simple language, the guiding questions, um, you, that's really what all of this is for. It's like, well, again, I the knowledge is great, but what do I do with it? How can I actively use it? And that's what all these pieces are for. I mean, I really, really care about that. I mean, I'm kind of like nerdy obsessive about it. It's like, what's the phrase? It's like it's the hill I would die on, you know? Is just giving people access to this stuff and making it meaningful for them. And one thing that I know about you and the work that you do, your business work, your strategy work, your marketing work, is you also really care that the work works. Like you're
Mm.
not, you know, you're not somebody who's just like, yeah, let me just give you information and let you go. Like you want your clients to actually have results. You really want to make it meaningful to them.
Yeah, it has to have some kind of tangibility to it.
Yeah,
There's like it has to mean something, and yeah, that's something that I is really important to me, is understanding of the concept and the reality, and how are you going to use this. And I have like a new little framework I came up with, which is the edit framework. It's explore. So it could be explore your design, explore your codex, explore, and that's kind of the information stage. Then like develop, so develop clarity over what it means for you. Then the I stands for implement. Implement your strategy, implement the stuff from all the first two pieces, implement and then the T stands for trust. Generally, trust your decisions, trust yourself, trust
yeah.
self-trust, because to me, that's what all this does, is it helps us to build self-awareness and to trust ourselves
That's
more.
it. That's the heart of it, really. You know, that's what I want for every human being. I love that, the edit framework.
Yeah.
And yes, without implementation, sorry, not sorry. You're not going to get the results. I mean, I hate to be so blunt about it, but I kind of have to be that blunt because it's very easy to get to. I will share what my experience was. Okay. I will not put this on everyone, but I have recognized it in a lot of my clients, right? I felt like I was doing something. I felt like I was working towards my business by learning about business. And it's not that it didn't feed it, but I thought that the learning, it's like in the back of my mind, I was just like, oh, well, I'm doing something, I'm learning, but I wasn't implementing anything. So it wasn't making a difference. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was making me feel like I was making a difference, but it wasn't. And so
Yeah.
once I personally caught that pattern a few years ago, I was just like, oh, okay, like there's no more of that. Like I can study something just because I'm curious, that's fine. But if I'm studying something with the intention of this is going to have an impact on my, on my life and my business and my leadership, then the most of my energy needs to go into putting it into action, not just learning it.
Yeah, it's like anything. The awareness piece has to be the first stage.
Yeah.
We don't know what we don't know. We have to bring these pieces in, we have to learn it, but then, yeah, you have to do something with it. And I think the codex for me is a really easy framework to help the transition from the knowledge to what am I actually going to do with it. And you mentioned the approaches. And
Hmm.
so I love that because obviously, you know, there's 6 different approaches. There could be other people out there with focus as their primary genius, but they have a different approach to me. So mine is weaving my passion. So again, it's giving myself permission to be like, yeah, like focus on what I'm passionate about. And that is gonna bring me the best results, and everything's gonna feel amazing if I'm focusing on what I should do. And so that's kind of what's led me to the human design and what led me to the cake business. And you know, in the first place, before I even learned about it, was I allowed myself to follow that passion of
Mm.
learning about these things. And so
Hmm.
now I think often some of these systems, they don't tell me anything I didn't already know,
Yeah.
but now I do more of it and I stop questioning it. So I
Mm.
stop questioning it. So if I look back, I did follow my passion with making cakes and I made a business of it. But now, so I kind of did it anyway without knowing any of this stuff. But
Hmm.
now I do more of it and I allow it more and I don't question it. And so as soon as I'm passionate about something I want to focus on, I allow it and I see where I end up. And this is where I am.
Yeah, I mean, what a permission slip. It really is a permission slip. And I'll say it's been the same with me, especially with my primary genius. So, originally when the Success Codex came out, the keyword for for approach 3, that point 3 in that central key code was playfulness. But actually, it's more about experimentation. So once I realized, like, when you're experimenting, there is an there is an open curiosity there. And so when I approach things from a place of I have to get it right, it's always the wrong it's always wrong, and it's always the wrong vibe. So when I finally just gave myself permission to not get it right, to let it be something that's going to unfold in action through me testing it and playing with it, I had to give myself permission also to, like, modify the original Success Codex I came out with. That was something I really had to grapple with. Like, oh, but everyone got used to these words, but these are better words. Can I change the words? Will they be mad at me? Like, all the things came up. And then I was just like, I have to trust my design. And the Success Codex has a Success Codex as well. And it's also a 3 there, a point 3 there. So I'm like, all right, we're refining, my friends. Like, that's what we're doing. We're experimenting and refining. So
Yeah, and some of those experimenting and refining, I think as that everything always happens in the right timing, in the right way, because through the journey, some of the words that you did amend changed in my chart. But I almost feel like the word that you originally had met me where I was at that time.
mhm,
And now, as a different word, I'm like, it's similar, but it's just a tweak to it. I'm like,
mhm,
okay. And I think one of them was my leadership. I think originally you had it as emotional mastery
mhm,
and it changed to emotion. And I
mhm.
have quite a interesting relationship with the word emotion. And so actually I think when I leant into it and started emotional mastery, it felt a lot more comfortable for
Yeah,
me. And now I'm okay that it's just changed to emotion, but I probably would have resisted it a lot. So I think
yeah,
even with those changes and with
yeah.
everything, like it's always perfect in a way, isn't it? Like the way that the words evolve and change over time, it matches people where they are, I think.
Thanks for bringing that perspective in. That was actually helpful for me because,
Mm.
I am kind of an island over here, and I can be pedantic. That is my little out of alignment
That's
cue in my primary genius. I mean, it's also a little bit of a gift. Like it is where I nerd out. It's finding the right words. I'm also a musician, a lyricist. I do the same thing in my songwriting. It's like I really want that perfect word because the words we choose really matter. Um, and you
they
know what?
do.
You know why I changed it from emotional mastery to emotion, by the way, is
Okay,
because
well,
so many people I knew who have 36, key code 36, have this like a little difficult relationship with the word. And I wanted to really let it shine as, no, this is a genius. It is not, because a lot of people who have that big emotional something through them, right? I'm not going to put things on you, but a lot of my clients who had that, who have 36, it's like they were judged for their emotionality. Sometimes they felt swallowed or engulfed by it. And so there was just this way that I felt like it's not the it wasn't the mastery that's the genius. It's the emotion itself. I just
Mm.
wanted to share that. My little I
Yeah.
don't know if that now changes your interpretation of it.
No, I
Yeah.
think it's, I think anyone who gets their human design, gets their codex, looks at any of these systems, there's going to be pieces that jump out at them straight away.
Yeah.
And that's what helps you to connect to it. So the focus, I've recognized immediately. It's like, yes, that's me. And so then it almost like the other pieces that maybe feel slightly less familiar, or it invites you in to be curious and to actually, explore, well, what is my relationship with that? How, and I think again, it's like my emotion is actually quite level. So I'm quite a
Mm.
grounded kind
Mm.
of thing. So it's kind of that is, it does, you have to work out what your relationship with the different words are. But I think, like you said, words do matter. And especially in a system like this where you've got initially, obviously, they do all come with descriptions, but initially, you've got one word.
Yeah.
And so that one word it does have to be precise, which is your primary genius,
Yeah.
because it is trying to condense a whole concept
It is. It
into
is.
one word
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the chart. So yeah, I think it's important to be precise with it and so yeah, I appreciate how much consideration you've put into all these words to
Mm.
get the right words.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. And it's, I can't promise there won't be another iteration at some point. For now, what you see is what you get, and that's what we're doing because I also need like my mental break and to take time to integrate it. And really, we've been using these words for a while, but some of them are a little bit on the newer side. And yeah, we're all I feel like we're all experimenting with this together. So it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we are wrapping up on time. I do just want to, I mean, I could promote you till the cows come home. I love you
Thank you.
so much. I love your work. I think anyone who gets to work with you is so incredibly lucky, because of your depth of knowledge, but also your depth of care, your ability to just be so clear and, yes, focused, and like, focus other
Best.
people, focus people, focus. So how can people reach you? How can people work with you?
Yeah, so my business name is a bit of a switch over from the wedding cake so my business name is actually Piece of Cake Coaching.
Piece of
So
cake coaching.
Piece of
Beautiful.
Cake Coaching. So yeah, but on social media, my name, Katy Davies, you can find me. I'm a Facebook girl. So yeah, Piece of Cake Coaching, Katy Davies. Yeah. Or
Perfect.
if you're
And
watching the video, you can scan the little QR code.
there is a QR code, which is so cool, so smart. She's got a QR code in her on her background, and I will also include all of your links below wherever you find this video or audio, so that people can reach you. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I adore you. I'm sure everyone who's listening also does, right? Because how could they not? Just saying. All right, my dear. Thank you.
Bye.